Folks, I'm meteorologist Tom Vick. I got another tornado warning here for you once again in western Louisiana, where the tornado watch is in effect until 7 o'clock this evening. Here's the outline of the area. Once again, similar to the first warning a couple of hours ago or so. We see it across the southern portion of Toledo Bend and Sabine Parish, including this time little municipality of Toro. There's the Toledo Bend down, South Toledo Bend down there. So that gives you an idea that much of this warning doesn't extend to Highway 171. So this is in the rural countryside of South Sabine Parish between 171 and Toledo Bend. And so, as you know, Toledo Bend's a beautiful area. We've got a lot of real estate development there. So there are folks on the lower Toledo Bend that this warning is valid for in your particular area. So doesn't extend up to Negrete, Des, and Florine though, but it is moving toward the north as you see here. And let's see, let me get a couple of things here going. All right, so here's a storm track that I can show you for this particular storm. This is a mesocyclone. This is a supercell storm, which is certainly capable of producing tornado. Remember, the unmistakable indication of a supercell storm is a rotating updraft. And so this particular storm has that, and that's one of the things that this was issued on as far as the storm structure is concerned. We have algorithms that query the storm structure and come up with those details. Once we go into the velocity, let's see, this is the regular velocity where we see we're looking for a couplet of velocity. A little something coming in from the south right there, but that's not too impressive. But these are moving fast enough. Let's see if we get a better idea from the storm relative velocity there with this as it comes in from that direction. So this is the storm relative velocity. Let's see if it'll go ahead and play there. Yeah. So coming in from the south, we're still watching this little signature right here coming into South Sabine Parish. And so I'll certainly see more impressive things than that, but there is that tornado warning. So I want to go ahead and give you the particulars of this. This is, okay, if you hear your location called, then put your plan into action. And your plan is this: stay low, don't go upstairs, get near the middle of your dwelling, centrally located, as we say. And what that does is that allows you to put as many walls between you and the outdoors as possible. And of course, stay away from windows, doors that open to the exterior. And if possible, with this middle concept of your dwelling, try to get in a little interior closet that doesn't have a wall to the outside, or a bathroom that doesn't have a wall to the outside, or an interior hallway. Those are your best chances in a tornado. That's the best safety rules. And don't travel in this mess. All right, so we got the Highway 473 coming east out of Toro. If you're along that highway, just east of Toro, a little bit south of there, and then to the north, but not all the way up to Negrete or Des. So this is Highway 191. This is an important highway in Sabine Parish there, where we see a little stretch coming out of Toro to the northwest there. If you're in that particular area, then you are in the tornado warning. And the lower portion of Toledo Bend there. This is Highway 6, well south of Highway 6, it looks like there, and around the Sabine County, Sabine Parish line there. That gives you an idea of who's affected. You can see some of these locations right here don't have identification on it, but this is some of the real estate development there around Toledo Bend, some of those streets that kind of connect those little neighborhoods there, and camps and so forth and so on. So these are the folks who are under risk of the tornado warning. You should have your plan in place. And I'm going to check the Weather Service in Shreveport, who issued this particular warning, and see if they're saying anything new about that that we can kind of get a grip on here. All right, let's see. We've got their latest shot here was, let me go, that's Lake Charles. Let's go to this. Don't really see anything extra besides the warning out of them. Sometimes they will issue a little discussion or something like that. So yeah, I don't really see anything pressing out of Lake Charles or Shreveport right now. But we're seeing a little bit of training with this. You can do this has kind of been moving over the same area for a little period of time. Let me check any rain real quick out of that. This is the storm total accumulation, and this goes back to the 26th at about 8:40 p.m. So the 26th that night. You see some of the heavy rain stacking up there across that part of the world. In fact, let's see, I can stop this, and then we'll query this real kind of closely there. We get there's some indications of 3 to 4 inches. Now, I will tell you that could be an overestimate. There could be a little hail contamination on that, depending on which relationship they use between the DBZ and the inches per hour rainfall and that kind of thing. Ice, hail can kind of contaminate that and overachieve that rate. So it may not be quite that much, but they have had a good bit of rain over in that area. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a flash flood warning coming somewhere down the line if this continues. Let me get back to the tornado warning. Once again, if you're down Highway 392 and 191 intersection right there, as 392 goes off to the east of that intersection, and you're under the tornado warning. And then once we go a little bit further to the north in the Toro community, and then between Highway 191 going northwest out of Toro over toward Toledo Bend, you're under the tornado warning as well. And then going east out 473, you're under the tornado warning also. And this is valid about 22 more minutes, which will put it to about 4:30 p.m. Our local time. Let me put this back into motion and see what we can see as far as where the tornado location may be. You can see pretty good reflectivity coming in from the south right here, and it's moving fairly quickly. There, we'll go back to velocity and see what we can pick up with that. Here's a storm relative, and put that into motion. And from time to time, we see velocity signatures with this. Here comes a little something out of the south and southwest there. Doesn't look that impressive to me, but there is some rotation there, it looks like. And then we'll put this back into motion under the regular velocity tab. And see this little feature coming in from the south. And so again, we just have to kind of keep ourselves covered with that, because a lot of times these storms can produce tornadoes fairly quickly. And one of the analogies that I use with this, with these type of tornadoes or tornado warnings, is with tropical systems. Tropical systems occur in a environment where the instability is fairly low, but the shear is high. And so we kind of got a similar environment. That type of environment builds a shallow to moderate updraft depth. And that's what we've been seeing here. In fact, let me look at the heights of these storms and see what we've got there. Okay, so we got about 35,000 feet in that particular area. For us, that is not a big storm, even here at the end of March. So I would consider this to pretty much be a shallow updraft, but in a way that doesn't matter as far as its tornado production. Now, it can have something to say about how vicious the tornado is, how big it is, and how strong it is. But as far as a yes/no question, these type of features can produce tornadoes, and of course we see the warning is out. So don't ignore it, because we have some evidence that this is something that we need to warn folks on, so that you'll be prepared in case you're in its way. So let me go ahead and do that once again as we look at the tornado warned area. Again, this extends, I'll start in the Toro community. We go south down the highway there, 191, goes all the way south into the southern portion of the parish, and then exits the parish there, and becomes there's a 692 highway there. So it takes you all the way to the south of the parish. And again, these are neighborhoods and development here on Toledo Bend that are in the Warren area. We've also got the parish line there with Sabine County in Texas. We also have folks and friends over there on 473, which goes out to the east of Toro for a little ways before you run out of the Warren area there. And let's see, well, the warning just disappeared. So I told you I didn't see a very impressive signature. So as I was kind of rounding up and reviewing, the Weather Service took that down. I guess that's the best thing to do. You don't need folks to stay under a tornado warning for 20 minutes unless they have to. This warning has been dropped. I'm kind of surprised they may not issued a severe thunderstorm warning or something like that. But so right now, South Sabine is warnless. I'll check real quick. Again, this came out of the Shreveport office. I'll see what they're saying. Yeah. So essentially, what they're saying is the same thing I'm saying. There was a downturn on the strength of the circulation and the presentation of that feature, and so the National Weather Service dropped the warning. But as we can see here, and this is a good time for me to illustrate this, the QLCS thing, quasi-linear line segment, all right, quasi-linear convective system there. Essentially, that's a wavy line. Some people call it a wavy squall line or something like that. In this case, I'm going to call it a wavy line segment. We see part of it back here, and then we see more it's kind of a southwest to northeast oriented system right in through here, and we see various notches in that particular system. There's one right there. There's one there. We've got one there, there. So this thing is just kind of full of notches, indicating that this would be where updraft cores are pulling in warm, moist, unstable air. Now the updrafts aren't very big, like I said, but again, when you have this kind of spin that's in the environment that the updraft is in, it can ingest that spin and it can make tornadoes out of that. And that's where our tornado warnings come from. We have our software that queries the storm structure, and we can know pretty well what's going on there. In fact, let me query that structure real quick once again, right there, and see if we still have a supercell right there. Okay. No, we've dropped to a non-supercell at this particular point. So that means for now we're easing up, and so that also is part of the evidence as to why the Shreveport office, I believe, dropped the warning there before it was supposed to expire. So again, just thunderstorms right now, but we got a wavy line, and so that means that this has a tendency to want to rotate at the cellular level. And so there could be other warnings that would come up along this particular area for Vernon and Sabine parishes, and maybe given enough time, and if we can stay unstable enough later enough, we got the tornado watch out till 7 o'clock, which is kind of a guideline. Say, okay, after 7 o'clock, we may start to feel nighttime cooling, and things will stabilize a bit, and these updrafts won't have enough fuel to fuel tornadic type weather or something like that. So we can hope that that will be the case. But for the next several hours, that highest risk of that is going to be in the tornado watch area until 7 p.m., which includes Beauregard, Vernon, Sabine, and Natchitoches parishes. So I'll continue to watch it. Nick will be watching it, and we'll let you know live if anything else happens, especially a tornado.